Hi ladies, hi gents. Just want to share a quick video with you. As you can see, I've been busy making lots of flowers. I just get on a roll sometimes in the evening and just make a load because I love doing it. I find it relaxing. So whilst I was making some of these flowers, I started messing about with fabric and came up with these ones. And I think they just look so shabby and yummy and gorgeous. And I was on Skype with some of the girls and they asked me if I'd do a tutorial on these, so that's what I'm going to do. So let me just move these flowers out of my way. Excuse me. Okay, so these are the ones that I'm going to do the tutorial on, and as you can see they're all different sizes because I had to play about and done it in lots of different sizes, and I think they look really yummy. Okay, so what you're going to need is a strip of fabric. Now, the width of it will depend how big you want the loops on your flower. Obviously this was a smaller width, so it made the loops smaller. This one's larger, so it made the loops larger. This particular piece is about an inch, so this will make a smaller one. And the length, I tend to do about 20 inches, I think that is, roughly. But if it's too much, you just cut the excess off, or if you haven't done it long enough, you can just add another bit as you're making the flower. So I just rip my fabric into strips. I just do it roughly, I don't cut it, I just rip it. Plus, you know, I love fabric that frays. So by ripping it, it does fray it. So you have a strip of fabric, and I just use a circle, a rough circle of felt. What I do is I just punch out a circle, place it over the felt and just cut round it. And again, depending on the size flower you want, this is a bigger circle I used on this one, and this is a smaller one. So for this one I'm just going to use a 2-inch circle. Okay, I'm hoping this is going to be close enough. Hang on, that's why I do this. Okay, let's move all these out the way. Okay, so I use my glue gun because it's a lot quicker, but you could use a needle and thread. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold your fabric in half like this, and what I do is I just glue along the bottom edge and then fold it over like that. I just do it a section at a time so the glue doesn't dry. And if you can get it as near to the edge as possible, that's great. But like I say, you could just use a running stitch, but I just find it quicker to glue it. Now I have seen these done in paper. I haven't seen them done in fabric, but there may have been. There may have been. Just pull that thread off. So I do that all the way along the piece of fabric. There that didn't stick. Right to the end. Excuse me. Okay. So then what you've got is you've got your fabric folded in half with like a loop at the end, all the way along. And like I say, you could do a running stitch. It's up to you. Okay. Then I fold it in half. You don't have to do this. You could actually just leave it single and do it, but I find it quicker to fold it in half. And then what I do is I start cutting the loops. So you're cutting about halfway along. And depending again how big you want your loops is how wide you would leave the space in between. You just do it roughly. Once you've made a few, you'll decide what size you like, or you may make like me, you might do some small, you might do some larger ones, but you keep doing that all the way along. Let me show you it. All the way along the fabric. I have done one ready. So this piece is all done all the way along. Okay. Let me just take it out a bit. Okay, and then you just take your, you could use card, you don't have to use felt, I just like working with felt. And then I just soften, shape it up a bit, because glue can be quite stiff, so just loosen up the glue a bit. So that it, and then just start gluing it on. Like that. Gluing round the circle as you go. For some reason my glue gun is smoking. It's been through a lot of use making all these flowers, that's probably why. You're just working it round the circle. I'm just going to keep going. And I've used cheesecloth. One of the ones I've done was in cheesecloth. This is just actually an old curtain I'm using here, and it's like cotton. I haven't tried it with satin, but I'm pretty sure you can almost use any fabric. And when you're just going to spiral all the way into the centre. So I'll just keep going. So you're just working it in as you go. So you're just spiralling it round. So as you start to spiral, you just bring the fabric down slightly. Just keep going. And depending how big a centre you're going to put on it will depend where you stop when you get to the centre. I'm going to keep going a little bit more. So you just see that I'm just spiralling it round. Gets a little bit more fiddly when you get to the centre. Right, I think that's enough, so I'm just going to cut this piece off here. Like that, and then I'm just going to glue that last piece down. So that's how it looks. Let's see if that centre will fit. It's maybe a little bit big. Let me see if I've got a smaller centre. And I just use earrings or bits off bracelets. Looks like it'll fit a bit. Yeah. So this is actually off a bracelet, this piece. I'll just put a good piece of glue on it. Just hold that for a moment. You can use buttons, pearls, flat back pearls. Okay, that. And then because this fabric frays, what I then do, you could leave it like that if you want it to not look so shabby. You know, you could leave it all neat. But what I do is I scrunch the fabric, so I hold my centre and I just start to fray up the fabric with my fingers. My house is always covered in bits of fabric threads. I'm forever hoovering them up, especially when I'm making flowers. And then I do it the other way as well, so that both sides of the loop start to fray. Like I say, you can do this with cheesecloth, you can do it, well, probably with pretty much any fabric. Just depends whether you want it frayed or... And obviously, depending how shabby you want it to look. By how much you fray it. And that's it. I find them quite addictive and really fun to make actually. What I do is I glue up a number of strips, maybe 4 or 5, and then just make them all at once. Obviously I've spent a bit more time fraying those ones than the one I've just made, and this is the one made with cheesecloth. But I think they're really cute, really, really cute. So I hope you've liked this tutorial, and well, I hope you'll try them. They're really fun to do, and they look great on projects, and they're not two-dimensional, so you can use them sort of in mini albums, and you know, because they're not as bulky as some flowers, like obviously they're a lot thinner than that, and these ones, so just depends whether you need a flatter flower or not. But yeah, that's how I make them. So have fun, have a play around, and let me know what you think. Okay, I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.